Thank you, Matt. It is impressive work from students in Hartford who saw a problem in their community, and they're stepping up to find all kinds of ways to help. Take a look at what they're up to at Covenant Prep. A potentially life-saving project is taking over this Covenant Prep classroom.
We're working on a campaign for mental health.
For social media, our goal is to promote helpful information and coping strategies for young Black men of color.
8th graders Dylan Hall and Lincoln Peter are part of the team behind Covenant Campaigns for Mental Health.
If you don't tell anybody about what you're going through, then you'll just have a worse time about it.
So I think what's most exciting is helping young boys like us talk about their mental health.
The student-led effort is designed to tackle stigmas about mental health, build a support network, and share coping skills for long-term emotional well-being among the city's Black and brown men and boys.
To break the stigma that boys shouldn't show their emotions, or they shouldn't be crying, or they shouldn't be upset.
Teacher Malachi Ward is overseeing the 10-week project that's backed with a $20,000 grant from the Hartford Foundation for Public Giving.
I think what we're trying to teach our youth and the 8th graders right now is that admitting it is the first step to treating it, and addressing it is how you can overcome it and make it almost like you say sometimes, make it your superpower, right?
A study published by JAMA Pediatrics showed young Black men are less likely to receive mental health treatment compared to their white peers, something these young men are fighting to change.
I would say that it's okay to share your emotions. We know that you're having a hard time, but it's okay to share your emotions rather than keep them bottled up.
Mental health mentors are helping the students with their plan. The goal is to reach at least 3,000 people through community outreach, merchandise, and tabling at events across 8 Hartford neighborhoods.
Success to me is really reaching people that are going through a rough time and actually helping them out in our community.
I want this to be one of those moments where we change someone's life.
And that gentleman is with us this morning. Covenant Prep is working on this mental health campaign with the team from the Leo Clinic in Hartford, and I'm joined by the Leo Clinic's Henry Willis and 8th grader Dylan Undwele Hall. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What an inspiration you are, as we hear from you and your classmates here in that piece. Why do you think this project is so important?
So this project is really important because young boys of color are told that they shouldn't show their emotions, which is not really healthy because over time those emotions that you keep inside start to build up, and you start to get thoughts that you can't take back, such as suicidal thoughts, which are really devastating when you finally commit the action. So I think that it's really important to talk about it because it helps your well-being.
Henry, I think this young man could work for the Leo Clinic today, but he has a bright future for sure. Tell us a little bit about your organization and why you wanted to be a part of this.
Yeah, so the Leo Clinic is an outpatient community health-based clinic located on New Britain Avenue in Hartford. And we provide primary care, behavioral health, and dentistry services to youth, adults, young adults, families, couples, you name it. And so part of what Leo Clinic is doing is we partnered with Covenant Prep for their mental health awareness campaign. And so me and the chief executive officer at the clinic go to the school on Mondays and Fridays, and we give lectures about different mental health topics, and as well as engaging them in activities that will educate and inspire them to so that they can finish their project and really be ready to go into the future.
And ready to change some lives. What has it been like to have the real world professionals come in and help with all of this? We pointed out it's funded with $20,000. There are high stakes here. What's it been like to have this team on board?
So it's really been fun and exciting. This project that we have been doing so far, it's really entertaining because we all get to work together to improve the world we have today. And I want to thank them because I've learned so much from mental health because of them, like about stigmas, what boys should and can't do. So, yeah.
You are such a bright light in this community. Speak to parents at home who are watching this story. These young men are leading the charge on this, but for somebody who's watching the story from their own home, they have a young boy at home. What are the warning signs of potential challenges?
Yeah, so for young men and boys, oftentimes you won't initially see kind of emotional symptoms going on. You'll see a lot of behavioral symptoms. And so one of the things we presented was about the relationship between mental health and hygiene. And so, if a kid's typically cleaning their room, brushing their teeth, eating, maybe if there's some mental health struggles going on, they're not doing some of those things. Maybe, your child is going to be irritable all the time, withdrawing from friends, withdrawing from, family dinners, stuff like that. It's not always going to be easy to get kind of the emotional world out of young men, and so we have to pay attention to their behaviors.
And when it's amplified in the Black and brown community, does that present additional challenges? Does it mean there's more work to do in our region? What would you say?
I mean, absolutely. So, one of the things that we've also kind of lectured about is that young Black boys and men are underrepresented in two ways. So first of all, they utilize mental health services less often than other populations. Secondly, they're underrepresented in the mental health professional community.
Sure.
A minority of mental health professionals are men, and an even smaller amount are Black men. And so, part of what we want to do is inspire these young men who are becoming leaders as part of the Covenant Prep curricula. That's what they're trying to make them into. We want to inspire them to potentially even become mental health professionals of their own.
And it's leaders like Dylan. Dylan, what's your message to a young boy at home who's struggling? What do you want them to know?
So what I would say to you is talk about your mental health, because it can really be helpful for you. It can change your life, because those negative emotions, they're not good to keep inside.
All right.
It's okay to show them. So talk about someone you trust, like your parents, your older siblings, maybe even a teacher or a classmate.
Right.
But at least,
Get it out there.
yes.
Thank you for the work that you're doing. You are a leader of today and tomorrow.
you.
Thank you for being here. Covenant Prep Boys, the best dressed in the city. I put out a call to Connecticut's news anchors across the state. You wear a tie every day. This is just some of what came in as a donation. What do you think?
Thank you.
All right, you get first pick. Symphony is incredibly important work from a young man who